eating?
Just a chicken salad.
Chicken salad sounds great. Healthy.
It's nice and quick. I've gone on a bit of a sorry.
I was just going to say, don't rush on our account.
Oh, I've just got a bit of a health kick the last like 3 days. I'm like, oh my God, Tough Mud is like a month away and I'm not fit.
Do you know what? I've actually been quite proud of myself on how I've been like really restrained. Like normally I'd go to the shop and every day just buy crap.
Yeah.
I'd just buy like, I just convince myself once I'm in front of it, like, I could have this and this and this. And just by making conscious decisions and being like, no, I'm going to eat meat and veg, very small amounts of carbs, very small amounts of sugar. But when I do, I'm eating it within that small window, like I'm fasting throughout most of the day. So,
oh, nice.
It's still, I don't know, I feel like even though I've not been exercising as much as I'd like, I can definitely see like a difference in me.
Yeah.
But yeah, before we get started, hello guys, we've got Kat in the chat, we've got Anna. I suppose the best way to start off this stream first is to say happy birthday to Anna.
I was just going to say, the birthday girl is in the chat. How exciting.
How's your birthday been so far, Anna? Today is the 5th of June already. It makes me almost want to heave how fast this year's going by.
Isn't it? It's ridiculously fast.
It's nuts. I thought by this time it'd be starting to warm up. That's normally what's happening in the UK around this time. But we've had such hot weather. Today it's peeing it down. I don't know if it's reached you yet.
Yeah, it has been. I feel like it's this is the typical British summertime that we're used to, isn't it? Summer's officially here, so now it's raining.
Now we've got the normal weather back. But hopefully this is just a short spell. Apparently we've got some tropical heat wave on its way.
Yeah.
Or did that already happen?
No, it's coming, I think. I mean, I've got home today and the bus is like on a tilt like this. Just how it sits. And all this, there's just tracks of water just running through the downstairs. Because it's been hitting the door. Obviously, it rained so heavily. Going down the door, then finding its way under the cracks on both the doors. And then because it's on a tilt, it's like caused these little like streams. It's just like, for God's sake.
It's good to learn these things now while you've got somewhere that's like sure, it's stable, you can figure out these lessons.
I know, well, it's just like the lesson that keeps on lessoning.
Mate, that's life. I feel like every day we're open to brand new lessons that are ready to teach us something.
We certainly are. There's never that day of like, well, hey, I've completed it, because it's like,
I fear that day. I don't want that day to happen. That sounds horrible. I complain about having a long to-do list, but actually being faced with like completed everything.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
No, that's way worse. Anna says, thank you guys, you're so sweet. I'm having such a lovely, relaxing day. This year has gone so fast. It really has. I mean, in just a few weeks, the amount of things that have happened around Bus Different, if you haven't caught on already, if you haven't seen any of the posts on social media, Bus Different is ready and it's been popping off on all accounts. So
it's been crazy. This week has been crazy.
I wanted to kind of jog your memory back for things that have just kind of happened recently.
Yeah.
So anyone that doesn't know, when did you buy this bus?
I bought it August of 2023, which seems a long time ago now.
Yeah, I was expecting a way sooner date, like closer to now. That's insane. Yeah. Hey, Ty, or TY.
Hey, thank you for joining.
And you've been renovating it for how long?
Well, I bought it in August 2023, but I didn't really do much to it those first few months because it was just so overwhelming. I was like, I'd go and visit it and just stand in it for a bit. and I ripped down. I've done everything I could do, and then it was mainly the whole of 2024 has been the renovation.
Right, yeah, I imagine because just
Process.
that first initial buying it and getting it from Scotland to the Midlands, I imagine was stressful enough. You know, what I mean, completing that feat. I imagine you have to, recharge to be able to put your hand at construction work.
Yeah, I mean, even just that feeling of like, when you want something and you're gonna make it happen, blah blah blah. So I wanted a bus, and then it's like, okay, I've got a bus now. It's that next stage. You don't always think about. I mean, the way I am anyway. I don't plan very much. I just kind of go for it, figure it out, go for it, figure it out. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it was very much like, now I've got the bus. Now what? It was a bit like, well, that's getting it from the empty bus stage to this stage where it's completed was a kind of, I didn't really know how I was going to do that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you've never done this before. How are you supposed to know where to start? Do you know what I mean? It must have felt
Yeah,
like
like,
mounting ahead of you.
do you
But
ask a carpenter?
now we've reached today. We've got hellos in the chat. We've got hi. You've turned it into your home. Most certainly, yeah. But there's more to it. It's not just a traveling home. So it passed its MOT. That was a big thing. That was
That's
something.
absolutely massive. Yeah.
And
Woohoo!
a big part of that is because it was going to have to be your first driving of the bus.
Yeah. So that in itself felt very strange. That again, it's like, wait, I've done the conversion now. And it's kind of like that feeling of like, right, completed it, and then it's like, no, now you've got to drive it. What?
It's amazing. And you said that you were worried because of when you were learning to drive a large vehicle, you learnt in a lorry sort of thing, was it?
Truck, yeah.
Truck, which, as you say, is very different in terms of placement over the front wheel where you're sat in the.
Yeah, totally different in that respect in terms of turning. I mean, the concept is still the same. You're in a large vehicle, you don't just turn the wheel to go left or right. You have to drive forward before you turn because you've got this big long vehicle behind you that's not going to turn. So that, it's very, very similar, but it's a strange grey area in the law that I now can't drive a bus, like an actual public bus.
Right, yeah.
So the license that I had to get was for its weight and its size. So I've got a Class C license, which is a HGV license. So it's really weird because when I was at the bus station, they were chatting about bus driver jobs, and my mum's like, "Oh, you always wanted to be a bus driver." I was like, "Yeah, but weirdly enough, I've not got the license to be a bus driver."
There's the whole I want a bus and I want to convert it into my home thing. And then there's the trying to understand categories of license and driving tests and what specific thing can you do. And that's just one aspect of it, right? And I feel like there's so many different portions of it that just seem to have their own world of knowledge. And you could find a rabbit hole in each one of these areas.
Yeah. Definitely. It's strange now to think back how stressed I was just over deciding which license to get, because like everybody that you talk to has got a different understanding of the law, and even just Googling it, trying to find the answers was really quite difficult. But it seems really weird that I was stressed over that now. It's like I've got far bigger things to be stressed over than that.
Which is that's just a perspective thing, right? One that you can only have once going through those
Yeah.
first bits. We've got a question. What's it like compared to living in, say, an apartment?
Well, in some respects, it feels very similar because it's compact. It's like having your very own mini terraced house because it's got a staircase, so it's not all on one level. And it is like having this teeny little terraced house. But there are differences, like you haven't got a flushing toilet. So I went for a composting toilet. So there's no running water. So that's very different, the toilet aspect, and the same with the taps. Like I have got an electronic tap upstairs in my bathroom, so I can run the water when I'm doing my teeth, but I mean, you're aware that you've got a tank that's, if you're just letting the water run, it's draining that tank. So there's nowhere near the amount of convenience that you have when you're in a home.
No, definitely.
But in that respect, it humbled me. It made me so much more appreciative of hot running water, cold running water, flushing toilets. I don't know, all these things that you just take for granted. And people say, oh, you know, you take it for granted, and you're like, yeah, like, no, I don't, blah, blah, blah. But actually, you do. You know, like, you might not realize you're not doing it purposefully, but you don't realize how convenient everything is in a house and what we've got used to.
Literally having to, you say, don't you, anything that goes on the bus you bring on, anything that goes off the bus you take off. There's no services, plumbed in services, there's no
These no
services that we rely on.
Even like there's an element of being able to just tip something away and it's gone, and it's, you know, there's like a guilt-free aspect to that. Like if you're wasting something and you're like, oh, you know, I know I'm wasting it and I shouldn't be, but hey ho, it's gone now. There isn't that. It's like, it's way more, I don't know, you have to really feel everything that you waste.
No, definitely. It makes me think like how much longer I must like run the tap for when I'm brushing my teeth, you know, just because I don't think to turn it off. But if that was me having to transport that water myself up and down, and then the waste back down, and then emptying it and back up again, it would make me more conscious. I don't think it's something you could apply without directly having to live firsthand like that.
Totally.
So it's fantastic to see. So it's not just... Oh, did you want to say something?
No, sorry, I was just reading the comments. Similar to my place in my cabin in the forest of Sweden. Oh my God, that sounds amazing.
That sounds gorgeous. Wow.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, a cabin in the woods, that's just the dream.
Yeah, that's got to be like one of my top 5 places of where I'd like to be in life. That would be amazing.
Right now.
Right now. So yeah, it's not just your home, right? What is the plans for Bus Different?
So Bus Different is a mobile book swap service, giving out free books, but also inviting the community to come down and connect with each other, and take away some stories to read. So I like to think of it as like the whole thing is to do with sharing stories, because when you talk to people, you share stories. There's the physical books that you can take away that are stories, and every time I'm stopping in a new place, it's creating stories. So there's a lot for me around that element of story sharing, and it's very human, I think, to share stories. It's something that we've done for years and years and years.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's beautiful to see, because you had your first open days where people were able to come and view it. Obviously, you've had friends, family members come and stick their nose in, because who can help themselves? Obviously, you want to come and have a browse at Bus Different. And it was amazing to see how much of the community, like often when we do events, people come and they stay because they know us, because they're friends of you or whatever, they're family members. But it really felt like it was a separate community, where it was people that lived in the area and maybe walked past the bus every so often, were like, what is that double-decker bus doing just randomly in our village? In our town?
Where did it come from?
And then people getting the ability to come and see it for themselves. It must have been so strange for people to not only come into your home, but like they were bringing their dogs in, their kids in. How does that feel to have your home open like that to people?
Do you know what? Like, I think I'm naturally quite an open person, so it didn't feel strange or like intrusive or anything. But it is funny to to reflect on the fact that I had some stranger's kids bouncing on my bed, like, like, and I'm going, could you stay on a bus? And they're like, yeah, I mean, I am DBS checked. I am a teacher by trade, it's like that all those safety elements are all backed up with the paperwork and stuff. But it is a strange thing, isn't it? Just to think that, people are just letting their kids run around this stranger's home while she's like following them.
Well, they're paying you compliments, like, wow, this is amazing. I wish we lived here. It was incredible to see.
It was nice, wasn't it?
You're right. I mean, it's hard for me to say because it's not my home, but there was an element of like, this doesn't feel weird. This feels like it's right. Like seeing kids on you've got the ladders on the library shelves, like the sliding ladders. And that was just as captivating for kids as I think it was for watching Beauty and the Beast, seeing these, like, you just don't see it anywhere, do you? I've been to so many libraries. I've never seen a ladder in a library. I mean, I've clearly not been to any like nice highbrow libraries, but to be able to see that as a kid, like, that would make me want to read. I want to get on steps and just look at books. And I'm on a bus, and it was amazing to see kids so excited about it, asking their parents, can we come back tomorrow with a load of books to donate? And
it was really sweet, wasn't it, in that respect? Like, realizing that kids do still enjoy reading.
Right.
Just coming back to your point about the ladder and the Beauty and the Beast thing, I've had to be really like rewording that, because when my teens or, like you say, young people, they're like, what's the ladder for? And then I'm like, oh, have you seen Beauty and the Beast? And that film's way old now. Like, they're not of that generation. There's a certain age group of people that want a library ladder because of that film and being young when they watch that film. Now it's like I'm reviving that.
What is the new reference?
Well, there isn't one. I've just had to say, when I was younger, believe it or not, when I was young, there's I don't know whether did Beauty and the Beast get remade, because I know the others did, like Jungle Book.
Yeah, I feel like, I never know what was a real film and what was just a fake thing, but I feel like Emma Watson played Belle.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. I mean, if it has been remade, that's great.
Yeah, the film was called Belle.
Oh, okay.
Is that right?
Yeah, T.Y.'s saying, yeah, it has been remade, but not as popular. And I think that's the thing, isn't it? Where we were younger, those Disney cartoon films, we'd all seen them because there wasn't the kind of choice that there is now of things to watch. So it was like, I mean, I've actually still got the videos. I was going to use them somehow in the build, but I just didn't get around to it.
Those old TVs that have got the video player in them?
I had one of those as well, but obviously I've not anymore.
Oh, God, I bet we'd be able to find one on Marketplace or something.
What, and do a video watching?
That'd be amazing. Or just have it playing in the background or something. Ty says, what kinds of conversations have you had to do that you found challenging and you're allowed to stand wherever you want?
What kinds of conversions have you had to do that you found challenging?
Sorry.
And are you allowed to stand wherever you want? Do you mean stand as in because it's a bus when I'm driving? Is that what you... Because obviously I can go wherever I want when the bus is still. But this was my first and only conversion, so I went big on the first attempt. But now that I've done this one, I would absolutely love to get a little van and do a little van, so that, because the big one's great, but like, you can't just bez off at the weekend or whatever. It's not as mobile as a little one. So I feel like but my mum said to me the other day, she was like, you need to write a book on the conversion, everything that you learn, everything that you came across. And thinking about it, there was a lot of van material when I went to convert, but there wasn't an awful lot, and there certainly wasn't anything on buses. So it might be something that people are interested in. I just don't know.
That'd be really cool. I mean, you've still got a load of pictures, haven't you, from like what it looked like when it started. the process through it. You've got pictures and videos of you actually working on it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I just feel like, though, there's a lot of things that I still don't know the answer to. So I'd be writing this book, this how-to, and I'd be like, and then just wing it. And then just hope for the best.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a how-to, but more of a like, this is how I did it.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like the dream kind of thing, and talk more about the idea of building a dream as much as building the bus.
Definitely. I feel like you avoid any lawful repercussions as well if you're like, how to, and then someone does it and they have an accident or something. Could you be held liable?
Or they
I'm
just
sure that's not how it works. But.
Yeah, end up suing me for damages. Like, sorry about that. But people in Sweden do the smaller ones. Ah, okay. I'm South African and I could not do that back home. The yeah, I mean, the bus life is way more popular in America because I think just because the country is so much bigger. And a lot of people that have commented on my social media have said, oh, that's silly to do it in the UK, you know, you won't be able to stay anywhere, blah, blah, blah. And there are restrictions and there are going to be restrictions, but it's not completely implausible. But also the fact that it is the library as well, it's the idea is that I want to go to villages in the outskirts that haven't got libraries, but have hopefully got like a pub with a big car park, and I can pull up on that car park for 2 nights. All the villagers know that to come down, drop off any books you don't want, swap them for your new reads, and then I'll go off to the next village, and hopefully I can create a circuit so you know I'm coming back in 6 months' time, and then you know you've read that pile of books, you can bring those back and get yourself a whole load of new ones.
I love that. I think that's wicked. There's so many opportunities for it. Like, yeah, it feels just limitless. And I don't think it's restrictive at all. Like, wherever a bus can go, you can go.
Yeah, exactly. There's plenty of places that you can go in a bus. I mean, it's more restricted than van life, but it's not totally restricted. Plus, there's the option to go to Europe at some point. That'd be pretty cool.
As soon as you're on mainland Europe, that's you're kind of set. You can go anywhere.
Yeah. It's all connected.
Yeah, definitely. So the open days went well. Loads of people came. Doggies came.
I loved all the dog visitors.
Just like, oh, I won't go in because of the dog. And it was like, as long as they don't eat books or poo, fine.
Exactly.
Before I could see, one lady was like half up the stairs with her dog. I was like, oh, maybe that's not. She was already going up there. I was like, okay.
I think there's going to be some learning curves over because we've got our first festival in a couple of weeks, haven't we? So it's definitely going to be a learning curve of like, oh, okay, we need this for next time. Or
yeah, definitely. We're going to be at Van Life Festival. It's Scrampston Hall.
Yeah, I can never remember. Is it Scampton? Scrampton?
I think it's Scrampston. Scrampston Hall in North Yorkshire.
Say it again, sorry.
Scrampston Hall.
Scrampston. It was lovely last year.
It was gorgeous. It was really nice, and I'm excited to go back with the bus. I feel like you talked the talk last time. You gave your speech. You introduced people to it. So, and to be invited by 6 in a bus as well. Aren't they hosting it?
They're like hosting a big rig show. So on the Saturday, my bus, their bus, and hopefully a number of other big rigs, so whether they're buses or RVs, you know, like just bigger vehicles, more unusual vehicles, should all be lined up and everybody will get to like look round them. And then on the Sunday, I'm talking at the coffee club again.
Very cool.
Yeah, so it'd be nice to like follow up on last year's talk.
No, definitely. Oh, that's wicked.
And I'm nowhere near as nervous this year about it.
Good. I think that's the process, right? That's that's really good to hear. Like, what makes you feel different now? Is it like you still don't know yet because it's not right round the corner, or are you just feeling yourself that
I
it just
just
feels different
feel,
this time?
yeah, I feel way more confident in myself. I think last year, because the bus still wasn't completed and there was still so many hurdles to overcome, I had this kind of imposter syndrome kind of feel, as though, what if someone asks me a question, I don't know the answer to it, I'm going to look silly because I'm meant to know, because I'm in this process and I hadn't figured it all out yet. And, you know, people wanted to know ins and outs, like, who are you insured with? How much was the insurance? You know, and it's like, I don't know. I've not actually got that far yet. So I just feel more confident in myself, in the process, in the fact, even like last year, if someone had been mean about it, I'd find it really hard to overcome. Not as in like, well, they've been mean to me, but I'd find it hard not to take it to heart. Whereas now I'd just be like, oh, shut up. You know, like, I think I've just grown so much like in this year. So now I'm just looking forward to the talk rather than, I mean, I don't think I was particularly nervous till the actual day anyway last year. So it might be famous last words.
Well, thankfully, you didn't look nervous when you were giving the talk. You were just, it was very clear that you were a teacher. Do you know what I mean? That you stand in front of a group of people and talk quite regularly. But it's amazing to hear that you feel different leading up to it this year, especially as like, you still don't know everything. Do you know what I mean? You
No.
still don't have the answers for everything, but just that idea of like, what I feel I need to know, I can answer, and the rest of it, I'm not conscious about not knowing it because I'm confident in myself and my build and my bus to go and present it to people. I think it's wicked. It's
I definitely want to do more public talking because I just love speaking, and I feel like I've got so many niches now. Like, there's the sobriety, there's the bus dream, there's the educational side of things. So it's like, you know, come at me, book me for talking.
Well, not only that, now we've got the bus, we can take the podcast anywhere and we can do live shows from the bus, literally.
That's so exciting, isn't it?
We can just force people to listen.
Well, in the summer, we'll get on the road and we could go live every single day if we wanted to, you know, like coming at you from a different place.
Travel down the coast, just hit a different beach and just set up, just yell at people on the beach.
And come over here.
Just park up next to ice cream vans and
can we have some free ice cream?
I think that's only fair.
So, did you see Bus Different pop up on the news this week as well? Like, did it pop up on your phone without? Because what I got was a lot of screenshots from people saying, "Oh my God, you're in the news," you know, like, and they were just browsing on their phone and it was popping up.
I love that. That's amazing. I was literally bored out my mind in a somewhat serious meeting. So I was scrolling my phone, not paying attention, unfortunately. And I was just looking at, like, that's how little I had to do on my phone. I was just looking at the news bulletins as you go to the left.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with my social media. And like 3 scrolls down, I was like, that looks like Lindzi. And I was like, that's really nuts. And I went through but I'm like in a meeting, I'm like trying to like stay chill and listen. I'm just like, oh, I need to go to the bathroom and send it to you. So I was like, I need to calm down. This is so cool. Like, it's happening. And
oh, I love that.
Tell us all about it. How did that come about?
So, BBC Radio Leicester invited me in. They do like a coffee morning, like a segment that's called Tea Break or something like that. And it's like an 11 o'clock chat and they get all sorts of different people in to talk. And it was St. George's Day. And so they got me in because I'm a Morris dancer. So that was like, you know, the connection. And then it just came up in conversation, something about, well, because I live in a bus. So then they were like, what? We need to go along and see that. So the host, Ben Jackson, he's lovely. He came down a couple of weeks ago and filmed it all, took photos and like interviewed me while we were walking around the bus. So that went live on the radio, I think on the same day as the news report on the website. So it was like a double whammy because people started tagging me saying, I've just heard you on the radio, or you're talking on the radio or whatever. And then people started sending the screenshots. Oh my God, you're in the news. And it was like, ah.
Ada, I was kind of confused because I knew someone came to take pictures and interview you. And then I saw that it was the radio thing. And I was like, I swear they came to take pictures. Why do they do that on the... And I thought maybe that's just what they put on the website of the radio website.
Yeah.
And then I saw it come up, and I was like, "Oh my God!" Like it's a double whammy all at once. Yeah, I couldn't be more proud of you, mate. Round of applause for him. It's all happening. You've had these dreams, you've had these plans, you know, since you started this mission back in 2023. We've established, and it's not taking you long, Al. It's really impressive. It's really fun to see.
Well, now I'm like, all those people over the years that I told I'm going to be famous and they laughed. Now I'm like, see, it's happening. It's happening.
It's happening. I love that as a saying. It's just so vague, but just like, you know what's like, it's happening.
It's happening.
It also works when something really bad's happening as well. Like, it's happening.
Yeah, like now it's just starting to rain, so it might get super loud on the roof and you won't be able to hear me.
We get the full experience of what it's like to live in Bus Different.
Oh my God. This morning, I'll just tell you. Yeah. So I woke up. I'm lying in bed and it's raining, and I was like, oh, how beautiful is this? And I was just like laying there listening to it rain. And then I was thinking, God, you're actually really awake. So that's really nice. Just waiting for my alarm to go off. And then my phone started ringing. I thought, who the hell is ringing me this early? Because I knew my alarm was due at 7:45. So I was like, someone's ringing me pre this time. So I've grabbed my phone and it was just a phone number ringing. But then I've looked at the time and it was 10 a.m. I start work at 9:30.
Oh my God.
So then I realised it was work. It was work that was ringing me. I'm just laying in bed listening to the rain, like, what a beautiful start to the day. So I like cancelled the call and put in the work chat saying, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, I'll be there in 10 minutes. Like, luckily I only live a stone's throw away from work. But yeah, so that was not good.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you've never joined us before, we are a different human design. Both have ADHD, autism, and a factor of ADHD is very much timekeeping, time management, sleep routine.
Yeah, sleeping late.
Very much trusting in these alarms that we're told that help us, because we're like, okay, I can't trust my own brain, so I've got calendars, I've got alarms. When they fail, I don't know what you want from us.
Are catastrophic.
We are very sorry. How?
I was so embarrassed. Like, that was my main thing. That I was just embarrassed. Like, my boss was like, "What time did you go to bed?" I was like, "Mate, I went bed at 11. I was definitely in bed by 11:30. I didn't even read because I thought, oh, I'm really super tired. I just went straight to sleep. So why did I sleep so long?"
It is always the nights that you went to bed early. Can I say that? I mean that. It is the nights where you're like, I'm going to get an early night that make absolutely no difference to when you get up. It's the nights where I can't get to sleep that I end up waking up on time, but groggy and miserable or whatever. I should know that if I'm ever waking up naturally, not in a groggy mood, I should just assume my alarm's not gone off. Because that's the
thing. I was genuinely laying there having all those thoughts, but it didn't cross my mind that I'd missed my alarm. But I was laying there thinking, this is very unusual. Hey, Canada's here as well. So we've got Canada, India, Sweden, South Africa. This is great. Shout out to all the places around the world.
100%. You've got GeoGuessr live right here in the chat, which is very fun to know that Bus Different is reaching worldwide territory. If you want to visit the BBC article, I'm going to link it down below. I can't do it right now because YouTube has been playing it while I've been setting this stream up, but I'll add it to it after. As well as this, it's led to some possibilities for some new things. So a magazine from the UK, Take a Break, has reached out.
They have. Well, it's the media production team that feeds those magazines their stories.
Right, okay.
So they've sent a contract through today saying that if I basically it's just saying that I've got to tell the truth and that I'm happy for them to use my stories and my pictures and that I've got the right to sell it, and that once that's published, I'm not allowed to officially share my story again for 3 months. So I thought that was quite reasonable, to be fair.
That's fair enough. Yeah, I'm actually really amazed that stories like that, they require you that, like, you tell the truth, because the stories in these magazines are just the most bizarre. Like what? Some of the stories on the front covers.
Yeah,
they're so jaw dropping, and it just shows how crazy life is, I suppose.
Yeah, it's like, please don't tell the truth. Just if that's how crazy your life is, lie.
But how cool is that? Take a Break magazine. Like, that's a magazine that I've known since childhood. Like,
yeah,
it's one you go straight for when you're in like waiting rooms at the dentist or the doctors or whatever. Like, I've been guilty of buying a few myself just because the stories on the front, I'm like,
yeah. they were the original clickbait. You'd be walking through and you would see a headline and you'd think, oh my God, I've just got to read that.
Literally. No plane journey is complete without a copy of Take a Break.
That's what I was just going to say. When you said, you'd bought a few in the past, I thought, well, mine is always if I'm on a flight. That's what I treat myself to. Like a couple of gossip magazines.
I don't need Vogue. I don't need these like
no.
big editorials that are just selling me stuff most of the time throughout the way through. Give me Take a Break. Give me ridiculous, crazy stories. So that's amazing. And then a BBC show, The One Show.
They've reached out and asked if I'm interested, because then what they have to do is, again, it's a company that feeds the films to The One Show. So they have now got, because I've said, yes, I'm interested, they have now got to pitch it to their team.
Right.
And then if the team's interested, then they will then pitch it to the One Show and that producers. And then, so there's still a little bit of way to go on that. So everyone keep their fingers crossed that goes ahead. But I'm excited about that, because if that does go ahead, they're going to come to van life with us.
Oh my God. Do you think they'll let me vlog around it? They must do, right?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
I've got to vlog us being, the bus, you and the bus being recorded. Like,
that's the thing. It's like we're like, hold on, we've had our production going on for many years now. We need to get this footage.
It blows my mind. The One Show, mate.
I know. Do you know what though? If because I'd got it in my diary this week to send photos to Amazing Spaces, because I'd already been in talks with them, and because of the filming schedule, they'd said when it's complete, send us the photos and we'll come and do a segment on it. So I'd actually got it in my diary to contact them this week. But now that I've had the chat with the One Show, you've got to stick with one show. You can't, like, it will if I appear on another TV program before then my chances with them will be blown, because they want that exclusive. This is the first time that this story's appeared. So yeah, it's like a bit of a learning curve there. But I will be on the TV hopefully next week, because East Midlands Today is coming down to do a segment on Tuesday.
East Midlands Today? When's that?
Tuesday at 10. but they're gonna tie in like talking to my students as in like, what do you think about your teachers, like teacher living on a bus, and has it encouraged you to read and stuff? And I was like, you do realize they are behavior students, like I can't guarantee what kind of response you'll get from them, but they think that ties in really nice, you know. It's the fact that there is this an educational undercurrent. Is like, you know, it's in people's best interest to know that we are really trying with these teens, so it should be a nice little feature.
I mean, we all know that the best teachers growing up are the ones that stood out, the ones that seemed cool to us, that really inspired us. And I feel like just being able to, I mean, what a cool story. I'd be so interested in, I don't know, anything my teacher had to say if that was their life, if that was what they were sharing.
Yeah.
I'm sure they will fall in line. They will do a good job for the news.
Yeah, I hope so. The thing is, like you say, when your teacher's talking about something that's a bit outside of the box, it gives that teacher character and shape that your other teachers, you just assume that they've just not got lives. So they just seem, they're so in that role of being your teacher. So it definitely has expanded their minds, realizing, like, because they've all come in today. Did it pass its MOT? How was your week off? Did you drive it? You know, it's really nice to know that some of them are engaged and invested in this whole like kind of journey. It's quite sweet. And hopefully I have encouraged a few of them to read, you know, or at least to think about reading, painted it in a different light.
Definitely. And if not reading, just generally going for your dreams. You know what I mean? Nothing's too crazy, nothing's too stupid. Like, these are kids that already have been made to feel like their opportunities are quite small. So to show them, like, look, you mean you can probably show the cost of what it's like living on this bus, you know, in comparison to the average house. How different it would be if you got another van.
Yeah. Well, I've about to say to them as well, like, it's not cheap living in a bus, but as a single person, it's more viable than me trying to survive on my own in a more traditional setup. So it's like just making them aware about these different options. Can I just say hi to Connor? He's in the chat. Hey, mate. Connor came to the open day. He is one of my ex-students, but he's a dad now and he's expecting another. So, you know, he's definitely not a young student anymore. He's a man in his own right. So,
well, hi there, Connor. And isn't that crazy, Lindzi, that you had students that are now dads grown up?
I know it is very strange. Because you kind of don't feel any older yourself, do you? And then it's like in your face where there's no denying that you've definitely got older.
Yeah. Amen.
Yeah, like there's no more to say on that.
I feel like there's a day that hits most, I'm going to say women, because I feel like men seem to age gracefully, really annoyingly. But there's a day where you kind of look at yourself and you're like, oh, I don't look 20 anymore.
Yeah.
You're like, there's a few extra lines and bumps and like, I'm not 20 anymore. I feel it.
Yeah.
In my head, when I close my eye, I feel like Kylie Jenner, which is crazy because I've never looked like Kylie Jenner. But that is the beauty and a slight bit of delusion.
But like it's the little things in it, like you took for granted, sorry, that crease-free skin, and like just at the time I didn't think, I used to love my best mate's skin because it was so flawless. She had like that porcelain kind of like skin, whereas mine was always uneven and like whatever. But now I'm like, oh, you should have literally took like been appreciative of that while you had it. I'd do anything for that skin again.
Do it all the time. That's why just never stop looking into the future. Be so thankful for what you've got now. How many times do we look at old pictures of ourselves and you're like, oh, I wasn't as fat as I thought I was. I'm fatter now.
Always the way. Yeah, always the way. Oh, thank you. TY in the chat, he says, they say you both look better than Kylie Jenner and more interesting too, and very smart. We'll take that. That's
I'll always
so
take
kind.
That's beautiful. Thank you. More interesting and very smart too. I love that you like. It's not just about looks here. These are smart, intelligent women. And
I love your shirt, Steph.
Thank you for noticing. Thank you. It's my pajamas. I'm not gonna lie.
It's really nice colour.
I bought them for Anna's birthday last year, funnily enough, and I was like, you know what? It feels like the right time. But also, I came in, my skin was erupting. I needed to have a shower, and I was like, I'm just gonna put my pajamas straight on.
Oh.
So that's me sorted for the night.
How's your face been? Like since you had that? I know that you had like a swelling though. Is it stopped doing that?
Yeah, while Lindsay's been having all these wins with the bus, my face blew up like I'd eaten 1,000 wasps. Yeah, it was just eczema, an eczema flare-up. Apparently, eye eczema is a thing, because you can't use your regular cream in that area because the skin's already so thin. It was taking a while to try and fix, so I ended up getting a different type of cream, a different oral medicine, basically.
Yeah.
And it did clear up relatively quickly, thankfully. But oh my God, waking up with that, not just do I not look 20 anymore, like I don't look human anymore. Whole face. I was just like, I was so over it.
Yeah.
I think it was just like, oh, face puffing. Yeah, of course. I've not had that one before. Why not? Add it to the
You looked
list
like you'd had that treatment that Steph had from the afters, where they purposefully thingy it and then it goes all swollen up.
Well, do you know what? The goal of that after that peels, right, and it heals, is you actually get really good skin, and that's exactly what I got when my skin cleared.
That's a massive bonus, and
Maybe it did it
horrible
naturally.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just what my skin does. It goes through this cycle of like irritation, flare-ups, swell, peel, and then it's like fresh again. And then but it does it like once a week, which is real fun.
Yeah, like can't you do it just every few months or something, like not once a week?
Why? It just keep me on my toes. Why not?
As if you've not got enough to do.
What was that? Sorry.
I said as if you've not got enough to do and deal with. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm just going to add this to your plate too. Like, thanks for that.
That's what I'm saying. I've just cured endometriosis for myself, by the way, not like I found a cure. I've just gone through getting rid of that, and I'm like, of course, yeah. Don't let me have a few months without something, please, body. Just bring up new things that I haven't experienced before.
That was like me. I had that operation on my foot, removed that like extra knuckle bone or whatever it was, because they didn't even know what it was or why my body grew it. And then
did they ever find out?
No, they sent the bone off for like testing and stuff, but they said if there's nothing to know, you'll never hear from us again, and I've not. So, but then the same week I was at it can't have been because I was at the gym, so it must have been like weeks later. But this part of my hand started hurting, and in there, right in there, there's like a lump, like a rock hard piece of bone. And it's like sometimes it's sticking out more than other times. Sometimes it's more painful. It's not on the other side. It feels foreign. It's not normal. So I'm just like, for God's sake, it's literally you get one thing sorted and then something else crops up. Like I'm always like in two minds. Like, is it my health anxiety? Because I've always had like health anxiety. So I'll always be worried about something to do with my health. And as soon as I crop up, like I get the courage to go to the doctors, like it'll be like 3 years of worrying about something. I'll go to the doctors, put my mind at rest, and then I'll have about a day before something else creeps in. And then that's the next thing for the next 3 to 10 years. It's like fuming. But I can never work out, is it just my brain or is there something wrong?
I know exactly what you mean, because I get the same, right? But then you have to argue with it. Like, am I anxious or am I actually experiencing this thing?
Yeah.
It's like gaslighting myself with like, do other people have this much stuff going on and it doesn't bother them, so they never go and get it checked?
Yeah.
Like, is that in terms of endometriosis that I can relate to is that women not realizing they have certain symptoms. Are we just over aware of our bodies?
Yeah, it's just strange. I mean, Kat's saying in the chat, story of my life. Once I heal something else will pop up, drives me nuts. But we know that Kat is got a similar presentation to us in terms of AuDHD. So is it just linked to the fact that we're neurodivergent, so we're going to have more issues with our physical body as well? Or is it because we're neurodivergent, we're more aware of our physical bodies?
I really think it's that. I really do. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's a mix of both, isn't it? It's got to be, because I have to be predisposed to this set of conditions.
Yeah.
It's like a cluster of them, isn't it? And they all seem to be experienced together.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird. And it's like, it's not like I'm anxious about my health, because I'm so annoyed when I feel that like something else. I'm like, I don't want to be like.
I don't want to have to make another doctor's appointment and turn up again with another issue. It's like, for God's sake, give me a break.
Exactly. I wouldn't mind if the doctor's process worked better. You could just ring at any time and they give you an appointment within that week or within that day.
Yeah.
But it's like, there's no appointment today, call back tomorrow. And it's like, what? I just have to keep doing that until you see me or I die.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, what about if you've got to go to work? And, like, there's only so patient that places can be with you, isn't there? Before eventually they're going to be like, oh, for God's sake, what is up with you? I think what Kat's saying in the chat, I mean, TY said about placebo as well. I think that's a good shout. Placebo effect of, is it that because I've been to the doctors and had a chat, put my mind at rest, that then like that issue's gone now, and then my body's like, but there's something else. Maybe I'll take some Tic Tacs and pretend that the doctor gave me them to fix my hand and see if that works. But yeah, Kat's saying that we know what our bodies are like and we are aware when something's wrong, and you should always trust your gut. And I think there's a lot to be said for that, because you hear the story so many times, don't you? People are going to the doctors over and over with a complaint. Like my auntie, for example, she's just been hospitalized with a suspected stroke or aneurysm, bleed on the brain. But it turned out to be that there wasn't enough either blood or oxygen getting to her brain in the first place. That was what caused the major headache and a major funny turn.
Wow.
But yeah, and it's serious, it's like affected her. She's got a big recovery process to go through now and stuff like that. But the doctors had kept turning her away, saying it was just a migraine. And she was like, I know what a migraine feels like. This isn't a migraine. Like, she already suffers with like fibromyalgia and stuff. So she knows what's what in terms of like pain and stuff like that. And yeah, they just kept fobbing her off until she basically collapsed.
When was the last time you heard someone go to the doctor for something and they weren't taken serious the first 2-3 times?
No.
It's actually baffling. Like, I saw on Mrs. Hinch's stories earlier this week, considering she already had an incident with her oldest kid where she recognized that he wasn't really acting right, not feeding right, and they kept saying that it's just a fever, giving antibiotics. And she was like, no, it's definitely more than that. And she kept persisting, and multiple times, I'm saying about 5 times, she took him to A&E, and they were like, it's just an infection. It's just, they need antibiotics. And it took so long that she finally got it recognized that they had that Hashimoto's disease?
All right, I don't think I've heard of it.
Hashimoto disease, which is rare. It's an autoimmune disorder where the body's immune system mistakenly attacks the thyroid gland, leading to hyperthyroidism. Can cause a range of symptoms, such as fatigue, weight gain, sensitivity to cold. But apparently it is kind of rare to find it. But this happened to her oldest kid, and I just thought, with this mum, surely after you'd been proven wrong by her once, you'd listen to her again in the future when she thinks there's something wrong with your kid. And the same thing happened with her newest baby. She was taking him back and forth to the doctors, and then found out that it wasn't colic like the doctor kept saying, and that it was this other rare. It was something to do with. It's known as loosed throat.
Okay. Oh, poor woman and poor kids. It sounds like they've been right through the ringer.
Right, floppy throat. That's it.
Okay.
Difficulty breathing and swallowing. She kept going to the doctors and saying, like, when he feeds, he's just not. And they were like, oh yeah, it's colic. It's colic. It's colic. And she had to be in the doctors, and they were in the hospital. She finally got admitted, and they're like, we can't work out what's wrong with her, until one nurse saw her feeding and was just like, is that how he's been like every time? She was like, yes, this is what I'm trying to tell people. She was like, can you take a video on your phone so I can go and show the head physician? She was like, yes, like, why is it taking so long? Why are people, is it threatening their position as doctors to be told?
Yeah, it's a bit of an ego issue.
Is it that you know that there's limited resources and long waiting times, so you think it's best to just send people off in the first instance, and if it's really serious, they'll come back? Because I feel like that's not a duty of care.
No, it's not. I mean, Kat says in the chat, doctors tend to jump to the most common diagnosis rather than investigate. And I think that is probably a symptom of the broken system, the fact that they are overworked and overstretched. And, so it's a case of, like you say, just trying to get through all of these appointments rather than really seriously thinking, okay, what's the underlying? I mean, we say it with ADHD and autism all the time, don't you? People get anxiety that label slapped on them, but why are they anxious?
Right.
What's the reason for that?
Yeah, definitely.
It's also good to see in the chat as well that so South Africa isn't so good for the doctors system, but Sweden has been amazing. Now, I've heard such good things about the Swedish education system, the healthcare system. It sounds like they have absolutely got it under control.
Sweden has got it sorted. I think the amount of people that are in work, the amount of people that are satisfied, that are happy, report to enjoy living in their own country. Fantastic.
Shout out Sweden.
Shout out to Sweden.
Well done, guys. If you can send some of your politicians our way, that would be really helpful.
Yeah, they really figured it out. I feel like the Swedish Prime Minister, is actually pretty cool.
What is it?
Yeah, I can't remember. There was something else that I wanted to say. Oh, another place that we have been featured this week is on Janice V. Johnson Dowd, who is Parenting in Recovery. She has a newsletter, and we've been featured on a recent one.
That's amazing. Thank you, Janice. I've got her book on my shelf, the Parenting in Recovery. It's to do with rebuilding your relationships after having an alcohol problem and things like that.
That's so cool. I can't wait to send her this clip so she knows that she's available on your bookshelf.
I know. Well, I'm like, I don't want to give it away either. I'm like, no, only, but I very much trust that the right person will find it at the right time. So, as soon as that person finds it, and I'll be letting you know, Janice, giving it a shout out. I'll do a shout out on it anyway at some point. I need to kind of feature all of the books I've got on the shelves of people that I know. I need to do a little kind of feature for them. TY says no, he is not cool, but the previous one was very cool.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not up to date on my Swedish politics, but thank you, TY. I appreciate the update. He is not cool. Just a clarification. Ulf Kristersson, not cool. You've heard it here first.
Yeah, we don't think you're cool.
She was cool. Yes, correct. I knew it. I was almost certain it was a woman.
There we go.
I remember she was kind of badass when it came to COVID. She was like, she was badass. No misinformation.
That's what we need. More badass people in charge.
More badass people in charge, indeed. So if people want to find us, we are at a festival this month. On what day is it? It would be
Scampton Hall? June the 21st. Well, June the 20th to the 22nd.
From the 20th to the 22nd of June, we will be at Van Life Festival in North Yorkshire. You can get tickets on their website, but you can be able to find that link through our website if you go to a different human design .co.uk. There is links to where we'll be this year. So you can find us at Van Life Festival and also Barefoot Festival in July, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Something in my brain was like, it's August, but it's not August.
No, it's not. It's because last year we went to the Edinburgh Festival in August, but this year we are going to do a road trip, aren't we? So we'll get some dates sorted for that, and then we can let people know our rough we'll kind of have a rough route planned, and just see where that takes us, which is exciting. That's mainly because I've had someone in Scotland say they've got books for me. So I was like, right, I'm coming to Scotland this summer then to get the books. But I just thought it was so sweet.
We've got to show Scotland what the bus looks like since it left Bonnie, Scotland.
Yeah.
All those
totally.
years ago.
And we need to do some techno Reiki with Steph. I always go to say Jade because it was Jade Reiki and Jade that was there. So
I do the same every time, and I have to be like, so why Jade? Is that her middle name? And I remember she likes Jade.
The
colour of the name,
stone. Oh, I'm not sure, but I don't know. Is it to do with the stone jade?
Yeah, now I don't know. We will find out.
Yeah, but yeah, so we're gonna have lots of good fun things to come.
Yeah, definitely. I'll post the link to that techno Reiki as well, because if anyone's interested and they're available in Scotland at that time, they should definitely check that out.
Definitely. Sounds wicked.
Ain't it? But until then, we shall leave you to it and get on with our evenings, I suppose. What are you doing after this?
Well, that downstairs looks like a bomb has hit it, so I'm gonna get on to tidying that, because tomorrow I'm having my synthetic dreads fitted. So I've got a really early start. I've got tutoring and then straight on to have that done. So it's exciting, but everything's a little bit unorganized and a bit up in the air, and I need to sort it out to let my brain calm down.
That's so fun. So for anyone that's missed it, what are you having done to your hair?
Well, I've had a set of synthetic dreadlocks made, and they're going to be fitted. It's because I want dreadlocks, but she said to have the synthetics first and see how I like them, things like that, before going through a process that's pretty irreversible. So,
I think it's a great shout. It is. I think it's really going to suit you, and also a very smart thing to go for the tester braids to start with. I think.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, if whether the novelty wears off and you're like, I regret this, then
that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
I can work it out.
But I'm excited to see them.
I'll send you a photo after this of the set. She's made them. She sent me a photo. They are gorgeous. I cannot wait to get them on my head.
Oh, that's so cool. Very cool. Well, keep us updated. If anyone wants to see the hair before the next podcast, be sure to find us on Instagram, A Different Human Design, Lindzi, and is it?
Lindzi and 13, I think, on Instagram.
On Lindzi and 13, or A Different Podcast Official. Or again, you can go to our website, www.adifferenthumandesign.co.uk.
That's what I was going to say. Go to the website. You find all the links on there. All our socials that don't match.
What's the fun in that? But, awesome. I'm going to go and make myself some dinner. I got it from M&S. I forgot to say that I saw an actual theft happening in M&S. I thought I'd go there to like avoid the rough for just a brief time. I don't normally shop at M&S. I thought I'd treat myself. It was rougher than oat.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I'm going back to Tesco's.
Crazy. Well, enjoy your M&S dinner.
I will do, mate. Have fun, have it tidy up, and enjoy your braids tomorrow. Keep us updated.
Thank you. And I'll see you Saturday.
See you Saturday for Anna's birthday.
Yeah.
Festive Anna.
Festive Anna.
And to our lovely chat, I bid you a good night. If you're watching later on, just a good day, whenever. Be happy, be merry, have a lovely summer.
Thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe.
That's probably more important. Like and subscribe. But also have a good summer. Not that we won't be back before then, but just, you know. I'm just saying stuff now, so I need to end the stream. I just say more ridiculous stuff. What is this? Talking like you're in a successful podcast, but you know there are literally 3 people watching, right?
Well, you're watching me.
Like anything. You're the one talking like that. Let's go to your channel, sir.
I'm gonna say, like,
with your 1 subscriber, talking to me with my 304 subscribers, like I care.
That is hilarious. Don't you know I was on the TV this week? Don't you know who I am?
I hope this guy doesn't accidentally find the Facebook with, what is it, 70,000 followers. That'd be embarrassing.
That would be embarrassing. Oh well. It's great. Anyway. It's great when we get extra comments. It all helps with the algorithm. So thank you very much.
Let haters hate. Haters go and do their jobs. Let them hate. The rest of you. Thank you very much for being really sweet. We've got 4 viewers right now, actually. So
we had 7 when they said it. So, you know, double.
In total, we've had almost 100 views. So suck it, dude.
And on that note, everyone have a lovely evening.
I hope that guy doesn't have a nice summer, but the rest of you.
Yeah.
Love. Have a good night, everybody.
Take care. See you all soon.
See you soon.